Hi, this is a short video on the important features on the Casio FX991EX calculator. This personally is my favorite scientific calculator of all time. It's really easy to use, but there are a few things you need to know to get started. The most important thing is that it has a fraction button, and it's this button right here that I'm hovering over. It has like a rectangle and a line and another rectangle. If you press that button, it's going to go ahead and put a fraction in your screen. So if I want to type 5/2, I will type a 5. Then you use this down button to navigate downward to the denominator and put in a 2, and now you have the fraction 5/2. If you wanted to add 5/2 to, let's say, 2/3, you need to get out of the denominator. Notice how my blinker is in the denominator? And you can go ahead and push the left or the right button, and it will take you back up here. Then I can push plus, the fraction button again, and then 2 down to get to the denominator, thirds. If I push equal, you'll notice that my calculator gave me a decimal immediately. Your calculator will probably give you a fraction immediately. You want to push this SD button to switch back and forth from fractions to decimals. If you don't like that your calculator gives you a fraction immediately, if you would rather it give you a decimal immediately like my calculator did, no big deal. You're going to want to go to the setup menu. So notice how the setup button is in yellow. You click the shift button first. That's up here in the upper left-hand corner. And then you're going to click on the menu/setup button. Number 1 is input/output, and that's what you're going to want. So push 1. And then if you want, so 3 and 4, ignore. You don't want to ever use 3 or 4. You want 1 or 2. Number 1, where it says math O, that's going to be fractions first, and number 2, decimal O, is going to give me decimals first. So my calculator is currently in the number 2 setting. If I put it in the number 1 setting, by pushing the number 1 down here, we can try this again. And I'll show you what it looks like. Fraction first, but I can still use this SD button right here to switch back and forth. And it's relatively easy. There's a lot of things you can do on this calculator. Most important, fractions and knowing how to switch back and forth from decimal to fraction. Another thing that you might want to know how to do for later, this button right here with an X and a little square up in the upper right-hand corner, that's going to be your exponent button. So if I want to do 5 raised to the 3rd power, I would type 5 first, and then I'm going to push this little button right here, and notice how it gives me an exponent. So I can put in the number 3, and then if I need to get out of the exponent, you push the over button, so the right button, and it brings you back down. And you push equal, and it'll give you the answer there. Your parenthesis buttons are right here, so open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and that kind of covers the more important things on this calculator. There's a few other things you can do, but for getting started, just keep in mind where your fraction button is, where your decimal to fraction button exists, and then how to do exponents, and you should be fine. All right, you guys totally got this. I believe in all of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.